Hello there. So this is the first part of lecture one and instrumentation and measurement in biomedical. So the outlines that will be covered in this lecture are terminology, biomedical signals, medical instrumentation, systems, modes and constraints, medical instrumentation classification, and finally biomedical inputs and compensation techniques. In terminology, biology deals with the broad spectrum of life sciences, study of all living organisms like plants, animals, insects. Medical science study only human being. Medical engineering study the engineering principles in medical science. And biological engineering covers more animal on the earth. Engineering or instrumentation is defined as the science of using measurements. So instrumentation is using of um, different kinds of instruments based on um, different forms of energy in order to record the biological signals or biomedical signals. The science of structure of the body is known as anatomy. The classification of anatomy um follows the basis of gross anatomy, deals with the study of the structure of the organs as seen by the naked eye on dissection. So it describes the shape, size, components, the appearance of the organs and their study. Topographical anatomy deals with the position of the organs in relation to each other as they are seen in sections through the body in different planes. For example, in coronal plane or in sagittal plane, etc. And relationship between them like medial, lateral, etc. Microscopic anatomy or histology, study of the minuscule structures of the organ by means of microscope. If we go more deep in details, the cytology is a special field of histology in which the structure, function, and development of the cell are studied. Physiology relate the normal function of the organs of the body and can be classified under cell physiology, the study of the function of the cell. Pathophysiology is related to the symptoms of a disease or condition uh, and the function of the organ. Circulatory physiology is related to the cardiovascular system. So the study of blood circulation relating to the function of the heart and respiratory physiology deals with the functioning of breathing organs, function of the lung, like the gas transportation between the capillaries and alveoli in the lung. The physiological systems of the body, the human body consists of many systems. For example, respiratory system, endocrine, heart and circulatory system, the cardiovascular system, nervous system, digestive system, production system, etc. All these systems they generate signals. For example, in the heart and circulatory system, we record mainly the ECG signal, which is type of biomedical signal that will be measured in order to have um, the information about a specific condition. The biomedical signals, bioelectric signals, as we said before, these signals are generated by the nerve cells and muscle cells. So it's bio is biological, electric, it have an electrical nature. Their basic source is the cell membrane potential, which under certain conditions may be excited to generate an action potential. That's said to be AP, action potential. The electric field generated by the action of many cells constitutes the bioelectric signals like the ECG signals, EEG, EOG, and other bioelectric signals. As we can see here in the image, this is the EEG recording set of electrodes placed on the scalp, and the signal is recorded in this manner. While this is the image of CT scan, a three-dimensional presentation using MRI, and this is the function of MRI, and etc. The bioacoustic signal is acoustic related to sound. The measure of acoustic signals created by many biomedical phenomena provides information about the underlying phenomena. For example, the heart sounds. These heart sounds can be heard using the stethoscope, either electronic stethoscope or the traditional ones. For the biomechanical signals, these signals um, are generating according to the the mechanical function of the human system. For example, here we can use the mechanical movement of the chest wall in order to measure the breath rate. In addition to that, the pressure and the flow, blood pressure and the flow signal also can be measured and considered as a biomechanical signals. For the biochemical, these signals are generated according to a chemical interaction. For example, these signals um, the signals can be generated in laboratory tests. For example, the test of thyroid hormones like T3, T4, and TSH. The biomagnetic signals, extremely weak magnetic fields, are produced by various organs such as the brain, heart, and lung. These signals, the biomagnetic signals, are extremely weak signals. So usually they are not uh, recorded um, in general clinics. Maybe they are recorded for research and in special laboratories. Biooptical signals, optical, related to optics. These are generated as a result of optical function of the biological systems occurring either naturally or induced by the measurement process, like the like the not photo, photometers, or the functional um, near infrared spectroscopy, or FNIRS. These are systems, they measure the biological signals based on optical methods. The bioimpedance signals, the impedance of the tissue is a source of important information concerning its composition, blood distribution, and the blood volume, etc. Uh, And bioimpedance signals. The galvanic skin resistance is measured and is um, a signal that provides us with valuable information about the condition of the person. For example, is used to measure the attention or measure the state of the thinking of a specific participant or patient in a lab. Cases like the ASD, in autism spectrum disorder, or in epilepsy cases also. They measure the bioimpedance of the skin. In medical instrumentation system, the system is composed of different components. The standard representation consists of number one, energy source, either electric, bioelectric, or biooptic, or infrared, mechanical, or ultrasonic. All these signals have a specific parameter that we are planning to measure. This is called the measurement. So the measurement will be fed into, or the signal in general that contains the measurement will be fed into sensor or transducer. This sensor or transducer is designed to measure a specific measurement in the bio signal. So the output of the sensor or transducer then is amplified, and the signal will be processed like filtration, ADC, digital converters, etc. This is called the signal conditioner. So the first part will be the energy source or the signal. Then there will be measurement, sensor, and the signal conditioner. Signal conditioner is the part where we will amplify, and filter the signal in order to be, um, maybe we can say, understandable by us. Then this, the final stage of the system will be the alarms, higher value, lower value, or any elements that will be adjusted and set by the user display based on the size of the screen or data storage like in HDD, um, data transmission, for example, via Wi-Fi or IoT or other type of data transmission, data recording, like print out on paper. So the output will be printed on a paper in the form of a report, the patient information, in addition to the signals of the patient. So measure it. What is measurement? Is the physical quantity or condition that the system measures is called the measurement. The measurement may be internal, like blood pressure, or body surface, electrocardiogram, potential ECG, measured on the body surface, emanating from the body like infrared radiation in case of body temperature measurement, from a tissue sample, biopsy in a lab. Sensor or transducer. This is very important slide because we can compare here the sensor to a transducer. Sensor or transducer. A transducer is a device that converts one form of energy to another. So the transducer will convert one form of energy to another, while the sensor will convert a physical measurement to an electric output. is the main difference between a transducer and sensor. That's very important. Sensor requirements selective should respond to a specific form of energy in the measurement. Minimal invasive. Invasive means requiring entry into a part of the body. Sensor should not affect the response of the living tissue. Most common types of sensors in biomedical systems like displacement and the pressure sensors. Many sensors have number one primary sensing elements such as diaphragm converts pressure to displacement, variable conversion element such as strain gauge that converts displacement to an electric voltage. Sometimes sensitivity of the sensor can be adjusted over a wide range by altering the primary sensory sensing elements, and many variable conversion elements need external electrical power to obtain a sensor output. We will check this point in the next slides. So signal conditional, the the quantity that or the measurement that the sensor or transducer will measure will be converted into a suitable form in order to be displayed or recorded. Simple signal conditionals may have may only amplify the filter and filter the signal or merely match the impedance of the sensor to the display. We have an example here. Signal filtering may reduce undesirable sensor signals or average repetitive signals to reduce noise or may convert information from time domain to frequency domain. So some filters, for example, we have the notch filter, which is used for removing the 50 hertz noise, and also the uh, some signal conditioners may use the FFT, fast Fourier transform, in order to convert the signal from time domain to frequency domain in order to check what is the maximum and minimum frequencies within the signal in order to set the Nyquist theorem uh, of, of the ADC, analog digital converter. The display system, the result of the measurement process must be displayed in a form that the human operator can perceive: numerical, graphical, discrete, continuous, or permanent, or temporary. The auxiliary elements, calibration, control and feedback, and data storage. Uh, for example, the alarm system, upper and lower adjustable thresholds like the heart rate, the upper and lower limit of the heart rate, or the blood pressure, also upper and lower limit of the blood pressure. Data transmission information obtained can be carried out to other parts of an integrated system or to transmit it from one location to another. For example, in the intensive care unit in the ICU, we have a room like this. For example, there are three beds for the patient and the main console. These three beds will send the patient data to the main console where the data of the patient of the sixth bed will be displayed in front of the uh, clinical staff in order to monitor all these six beds once within one screen only. The operation modes, either direct or indirect. For example, measurement can interface directly to the sensor or needs another measurement to interact between the original measurement and the sensor. For example, the cardiac output, the blood volume per minute pumped by the heart, cannot be measured directly. So it's measured by using an equation that will link the cardiac output to the heart rate and blood pressure and etc. and other types of indirect measurements. And for example, the morphology of internal organs by X-ray shadows for the sampling or continuous modes of operation. Some signals are changing rapidly inside the human body, so it needs continuous monitoring for like the ECG or EEG, EMG. These signals are changing inside the human body rapidly, so it requires continuous monitoring. While sampling or slow uh, biosignals, for example, the body temperature, ion concentrations, they are changing so slowly that may be sampled infrequently.